All right, folks, we are live. Welcome to the show. If you don't know me, my name is Mike Asherbranner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business. You are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN 106.1 FM RVA. Folks, live, thank you so much for tuning in with us. It's going to be an amazing discussion with an amazing guy. All right. So what we're going to be talking about is the future of ownership. My apologies. All right. I thought I had it off. I'm getting old. Future of ownership, investment, innovation. None other, like I said, with Dr. Tahir Hussain. All right. He was formerly building a real estate empire through grit and vision. Self-made guy here. Love his work passion. Sounds like. Now he's pioneering all these words, guys. All these words I've heard. It's like people made up words the last 10 years, right? We hear virtual economies, tokenization, right? This thing, that thing, metaverse. Well, I got news for you. If you've been trying to figure out what that is without the nonsense, Merry Christmas. We've got him here. So we're going to be talking to him. Let's roll the intro video and let's make it happen, y'all. And April, I see you, and I see you. I can't pronounce names, so Dr. Tahir's going to have to help me out. He can do it. So let's get this party started, folks.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks, let's break Dr. Tahir Hussain up to see if he knows about crawfish and singing on a Friday night. How are you today? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you for having me. And it's such a delight to be over here today. And let's add some value.
Oh, you always do. You're a good man. I want folks to know, you just didn't get born with a silver spoon. You've worked hard. You've had failures. You kept going. And this is Hounds material if I ever seen it. And Mike King. Mike King, he pushes up his community like no other. So we are international. You're from Dubai, but you're currently in Malaysia. Is that right?
That's right. So I'm based out of Malaysia. I'm from Dubai, and I'm doing this from Dubai as well. So that's special.
Yeah, and we love it. We are Hounds is international, global, my friend. So let's get down to it, because if folks haven't heard your backstory, we did a great episode with your U.S. development partner, Dr. Jeffrey Berger, Hound's own. Man, we're proud of him. He's a good man and educator, just like you. So, folks, you got to go hear that one. But we're going to give you the mini right now. So, Dr. Tahir, if you don't mind, you've gone from building real-world property empires to shaping entire continents in the metaverse. What's the moment you knew that this was the next frontier, the next chapter for you?
So, well, thank you for that question.
Sure.
One of the things I've been always fascinated about has been technology growth. How does physical become virtual and vice versa? And one of the ideas was that how could we take a multi-trillion-dollar industry of properties, for example, and digitalize it? And I was like, man, let's do it. And it was to make sure that the masses who do not get the fair play to be a part of a much bigger industry get an opportunity to participate in it. And the moment I was presented, I was sold on to the idea, and I said, let's go and let's get it done. Let's do it.
Right there, folks. You hear that? Hey, yeah, it's great because people in the know, people with tons of money, corporations, they can do a lot of stuff. But what about us, right? People like us, people who are trying to, take care of our families, grow our businesses, right? Make ends meet, make an impact. And see, this is not marketing catchphrase. This is the God's honest truth here, folks. So let's get into it. All right, you've lived. This is what I find impressive. You lived in the brick and mortar world of real estate for decades, correct?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
How is it different, right? Building in, as I would call it, pixels instead of bricks, right? So now you're virtual, and what's surprisingly the same? So what's different between brick and mortar, and what's the same? Like, how does this work? Give us your basic update. Bring us up to speed.
Absolutely. So the brick and mortar is still brick and mortar. Our audience is listening to us right now are in a brick and mortar place. We don't live in a digital space, physically speaking, although we do have a massive digital space around us. Said that, the goal was to use digital to our vantage point, not against us. And I think that's where things started moving and changing in the sense of how could we take someone on a real journey digitally without they going to the brick and mortar space. So that's number one. But I'll just add one other point. One of the things that I got tired of doing real estate with brick and mortar, again, as I mentioned, was the fact that if you had millions, you could make a couple of more millions or a couple of more 100 millions. But if we could take you from almost having nothing and then turn that into something big enough, better enough, convenient enough, that becomes a game changer for the masses. And again, that's what I was sold out. And I'm like, let's go and make it happen.
See, folks, this is original. This is how they think. This is why I love talking to them, because this company is blowing up. It really is. And but it's hard. They're really serving people. They're not just saying that. I mean, I'm not knocking other people, but all right. So let's talk about the vision and platform. Let's get a little bit more specific out there. Folks who have never heard of the Meta One or Viarta One, what's the big picture, right? Start there, if you would.
Absolutely. So one of our goals is for the betterment of humanity. Easier said than done because a lot of people speak about it without putting anyone else down.
Right.
But when you start coming out with products and technologies that actually starts showing up for the betterment of humanity, you start realizing that look, it's not just about making some big bucks. See, big bucks are going to come regardless. It's the value you're going to bring to the table that's going to add that. So when it comes to like one of the things with VR, the one is one of the mission statements is for the betterment of humanity, creating that lifestyle for the betterment of humanity. And I think that's core to what the company does. And in terms of the Meta, which is one of the subsidiaries of We Are the One group of companies, they are, of course, into the metaverse, where they're talking about digitalizing a technology that serves you from the comfort of wherever you are through an experience that you have never had before in your life.
Right. And the words metaverse, it was Nicole Borgie and Dr. Jeffrey Berger that opened me up to that, Tahir, because I didn't know. I didn't realize that massive, popular, like pop culture singers have used metaverse, and there was millions of people. I'm getting older, I guess, and so that has benefits, but it also, I'm not keeping up with the kids, right, so to speak. So, but it's really fun because why do everyday people, why should they care about this? And we're talking about the people, folks like us that are building businesses, working class, corporate, et cetera, right? We all want to pay the bills and do things and take care of ourselves and financial and other ways. So why is this important? Why should they care? Especially if they never heard about it.
Correct. Great question. So one of the things I learned growing up, especially being around the big boys, if you would, in the real estate industry, as a matter of fact, so I remember my mentor telling me that if you're hearing the news in the newspaper, yes, I grew up in an era of newspapers too, it's too late. And then that made me wonder, how do I get ahead of that? How do I get the news before it hits the news? And I think that's where your question fits in with the metaverse, that our goal is metaverse is not going to be for tech giants or the geeks or for the Gen Zs and the millennials. Metaverse is going to be for everyone, like the smartphones. It's just a matter of realizing sooner or later. For example, is one of the surveys that was done on Meta that says that there are 3 billion people who are going to be on it. And I can't remember what was the credit. We'll give you that data. 3 billion people are going to be on it in the next 6 to 8 years. That's a lot of people who are going to be into the metaverse. And it's not because they're going to play some games or because they're just Gen Zs. These are people who would find it usable, easy, convenient. And that's the reason they're going to be there, because it's going to add so much more value to whatever they're doing in their life right now.
I agree. I say it all the time. I never in a million years thought that since 2020 we would have 80-year-old people zooming and doing things, and since COVID, it hasn't let up. People, especially the older generations, right, or savvy. They're on it. They get it. They're okay with it. And also, you said something that kind of made me think about me and some other folks that I've talked to. You know, we don't want to be reckless and goofy, right? We want to be educated, make informed decisions that are in our best interest. But I don't want to be the maid who didn't invest in Google, for example, back when it was like, nothing, right? We hear these stories over and over again. And I think that's the wisdom behind it, right? Not saying do or don't. What we're saying is ask the right questions, right? Find out what it is. Do your research, not just a Google search. Do a research. Go dive into this before you say yes and no to things. And I think some of that, and not to get on a tangent, but what I've noticed, and this is why I love having you on the show, we don't usually do segments like this in this arena. When you and Dr. Jeffrey made it simple, you educated. After he educated, he left. I said, wait a minute, where's the sales pitch? There was no sales pitch. That's like going to the grocery store saying, I need some milk. Well, you don't have to sell me on milk. I need it, right? But if I didn't know milk existed, I can't go get it. And I love y'all's approach. I just wanted folks to know that this is what we're coming from. That's how I won over, because I'm not a dumb guy. We're not dumb people out here, right? And and that's what you're about, educating and being patient with folks. So let me dive in. So there's two things going on. You might want to clarify it, but we've got, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? But you have 5 digital continents inside the Meta One, and then you have Viarta One, and that has properties in places like Dubai, Turkey, etc. So why do these first of all, did I get the facts right?
Well, let me give you a quick
Please.
quick one on the properties. So we do have under We Are the One group of companies. We do have properties in Dubai, Zanzibar, which is in Tanzania, and in Maputo, Mozambique. Our marketing head office is in Turkey, but we don't have an actual real estate property there yet.
Yeah, but you relatively a young company blowing up, right? I saw their credit. I saw it be like, what was it? Google, Amazon, like you guys have really moved quickly. This is sustainable, right? You guys got a lot of big stuff. I won't spill the beans, but so many things moving rapidly right now. And I think that is extremely impressive. I think we cut out a little bit, but so how do they connect to the larger vision, right? All these different things, right? These properties, what is the big picture again?
Well, the big picture, again, at the core of what we are looking at is for the betterment of humanity. Now, how do we get there? One is to just keep giving charities, but what if you could empower the masses, right? And that's where, whether you look at Metaverse, for example, you mentioned some very big names real quick. When you look at Google, when you look at Amazon Web Services, when you look at Microsoft, having them as your business partners in a way when it comes to technology, and they recognizing us, that goes a long way for us. It means that we are doing something important in the tech sector in the right direction, and our goal is still the same. How could the masses get to benefit from it when it comes to that particular sector of the metaverse? When we get recognized by companies like these, it just makes us feel a lot more prouder of where we are, knowing that we are moving forward in the right direction. Now, what does that mean for you? From a credibility point of view, when we talk about technology and we have some of these big giants with us in the tech world, it shows you that these are third-party billion-dollar companies saying, yes, these guys are doing something right. So that shows our advancements in the metaverse, where we, as you mentioned, have 5 continents, and we just starting to build the first 2 at this point massively, and then 3 more to go.
I'm going to get, I got to give a shout out to Mike King. But before I do, on that note, I had made comments like this before. You mentioned massive companies and things and getting involved, right? And I think they did folks in the audience, let me know. Do you think these massive companies did more than a basic Google search before they got involved to this level? I think they did. So here's my encouragement: go out there and find their research. Right? These companies do a lot of research, and a lot of this is public. So if you're like, I don't believe it, well, then go out there and look for their research. Because let me tell you something, they're not going to spend millions of dollars researching and then go take action if they didn't see some good stuff, right? Like, I want people to understand that, because I had the same stuff. Well, that can't be right. Well, then why are they doing it? That's a good question. So we're encouraging people to think, because you don't want to miss things that could or could not be for you, or it could be for your friend, or who knows. But that's what I want to give. And by the way, shout out real quick to Mike King Biz Radio. And Mike King, the man himself, great guy. We have that in common. We want it, not that we're great guys, that came out wrong, but we have in common that we want to push people up together. This guy pushes up his community in Richmond like no other. He's on the Jumbotron, Dr. Tahir. When he watches the ball games, they love this guy. And I can see why, because he gave us this platform, this partnership to push people up and educate people, help them get an edge in this competitive world and market, you know. So it can be fierce. So it's good to have education and allies. And that leads me to it. No strays out there, folks. Shameless plug. If you're out here trying to build a business and build a legacy and make an impact like Dr. Tahir and Dr. Jeff, you know what? Don't do it alone. Oh, my goodness. Hey, come in, plug into a pack. Right? You can find us on YouTube, Hounds of Business. You can find us on LinkedIn at Redneck One. Or, hey, I still take carrier pigeons. Might be bad pending in the weather, but I'll still get them, folks. So we are here with Dr. Tahir Hussain, explaining, right, Metaverse tokenization through their company, to Meta One and VR to One. So let's dive a little bit into it before we have to go. Man, time flies and you're having fun. And by the way, if you go to our channel, you'll see a calendar link, right? So calendly.com, Jeffrey E. Berger. Go to calendarly.com, Jeffrey E. Berger, and you can put /30 minutes. That's where you get the info. He's got webinars. He's got all kinds of things. I'll put the QR code up here so you guys can come and scan that. There they are together. Great guys and Hounds favorites. I'm telling you, folks love your approach. You know, we needed this. So let's get into it. I wanted folks to know where they can learn more. All education, no pestering. They don't dog catch. All right. So tell us about the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, if you would, and how does it fit into the bigger picture of this movement? Because that's what I see it as, that you are building together.
Right. So one of the objectives of the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, which I founded and I run across continents at this point, was for creating entrepreneurs of the 21st century. That was one of the goals, primarily, especially the ones who don't feel that they have the resources. So one of the areas where we are the one group of companies plays a role is when you get to learn about money or wealth and you want to know what is out there, where can I get started from? A lot of the people within our own community then get to look at it as a standalone product business when it comes to We Are the One and their products. And I'm like, you don't know where to start from? There you go. Have a look at it, see if that makes sense, ask questions, but never say that you never got a chance for being a part of a tech or for being a part of creating wealth within your own space, because we are eliminating you for saying that we never got an opportunity, because we're giving you not just the education, but the opportunity at the same time.
Hey, on that note, because we're not going to get into it for time pending, but folks, go check out the Hounds HOB live on YouTube. I love when you talked about the hard times, right? Losing money and losing, and people think, oh, well, he must never lose. He's just special. No, you just do winner things. You get up quicker. You learn faster, right? And I love that. So that's where the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy. That's rooted in real world. Oh my goodness, right? Let me keep you from making the same mistake mentality. I love it. So, what role do you see, right, playing in making sure that regular people like me, not just the big players, benefit from this? What we'll call land rush.
True. Number one, get ahead of time. Do not wait till everyone on the planet is on Metaverse and then say, oh yeah, I heard it 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Then from a wealth perspective, you've missed the boat. I'll be honest with you, right? But at the same time, do your own due diligence. If you showed up here. And Mike, let me give a shout out. We have people here from Malaysia, and I know that it's almost 2:30 in the morning in
Oh,
that country as we speak, and they're here. Arzmi, shout out to you. Cash, shout out to you. Amazing. So that shows the hunger of listening and getting that value, because then what's our excuse for not deep diving into it when we have the opportunity right in front of us?
absolutely. And there's Dr. Madeline, or hopefully I said that right. Yeah, I mess up easy names like Sam and Mike, y'all. Thanks for the grace. Thank you all for tuning in. You draw a crowd. It's not just because you got a lot of good value. It's because you're a good man, and that's what it's all about. Hey, trust plus skill equals boom. All right, there. That's the redneck math for y'all. So let's wrap it up. Oh, I hate to do this. All right, we still got a good 5 minutes. So, what's the single most smartest move someone could make right now to position themselves in the next wave of ownership in this whole new world out here that kind of looks a little weird, a little scary to us? What's some smart move right now somebody could take to get in the right position and not be falling behind?
Sure, great question, and I'll keep it simple. If you're taking notes, take notes of this. Number one, get educated. A person who is not educated is not in business. You might get lucky, but then you're not in business. So get educated. Now, while you're getting educated, trust the experts. Figure out who the experts are, who have made it, who are doing it, and then trust them. Ask questions, but trust them. Ask questions, trust them. It's like trusting your teacher, your mentor, whatever industry you're a part of. And then the third thing is take action. The biggest challenge we've ever had in our lives was indecision. Take action, and action could be yes or no. And action, nah, this is not for me. And then own it, right? Because maybe it's not for you, but make a decision. So don't get educated to a point where it reaches a point of analysis paralysis. And again, these messages I'm giving you is because I've seen both sides of the side, if you would, talking about opportunities, talking about breakthroughs, whether it was real estate in Dubai, whether it is the metaverse, whether it is a fractional ownership, people who took actions and how their life changed, and people who didn't take actions and are still contemplating and thinking about it. Now you get to decide for yourself. But that's the most important thing. Get moving.
That is real world advice for every aspect of life. And I just figured this out in my mid 40s. My goodness, don't do that, right? You learn it now. Whatever age you're at, whatever position you're at, you hit the nail on the head. Don't play defense. Get out there, figure it out. Well, what if I make a mistake? Yeah, well then you might be like us, like you might be happier. You might be on the next step to success, whatever you define that as. So that's just great, solid advice. And on that note, close this out. Take a few minutes. No rush on this because I loved your answer last time because it was the heartfelt answer. That's why it was so good. Fast forward 5 years, right? What does success look like for you, the Meta One, the Art of One? What is it that the impact here? What does it look like when you put your feet on the floor every morning? Yeah, this is what the vision, this is what I see happening.
Right. So let me start with me first, right? For me, what success looks like is by God's grace, when it comes to wealth and money, I'm in a pretty good space. So for me, what it's about is about giving back to the community. And we're talking about 8 billion people on planet Earth. Now, that's a lot of work when it comes to giving back and empowering them. So for me, I believe the next 5 years for me looks like a lot more people being empowered when it comes to wealth, whether it's through the tech industry, through the real estate fractional ownership, or through something else. But how could that cause a ripple effect, financially speaking, not just in their lives, hopefully in the next generation of the lives that they're going to create? And that just boggles me, because one of the things I did at create 100 millionaires in 1 year, which was one of my best records. And it was not so much about creating 100 millionaires, that sounds good, but the impact those 100 millionaires created on the people whose lives depended on that. That was for me a game changer. I'm like, I could do 1,000 of those and 10,000 and hundreds of thousands. Money is a good way to measure things, but the happiness, the impact, the schools they can go to, so much to it, right? The health benefits and stuff. So for me, that's what I'm after. What that looks like for me in the next 5 years. When it comes to we are the one group of companies, in specific the Meta. Look, right now we've got within the university 500,000 people on it. So my goal with what the meta looks like is at least a couple of million on our platforms between education, real estate, and the other continents which would be up and running by that time to be experiencing metaverse like never before. You could do games in it today, great. But then rather than just killing and shooting some people in games, why not get educated? Why not learn physics, chemistry, especially the ones who are challenged to learn those courses, not the ones who are good at it, but the ones who are challenged at doing it. Same with properties. Why would you just stick to your town or city when the whole world can open up to you? Like one of the things we are doing with the real estate expo, like we're going to open the whole world to you in the metaverse, but you could literally walk into any country and walk into their project. That's going to be a reality in the next 12 to 18 months. That's happening, guys. So that's just 12 months. So you can imagine what 5 years could look like. Massive impact, major impact, disruption in the real estate and in the education sector.
Guys, can you all feel that? Can you hear that? Sense it? The passion and the purpose behind the metrics here. That's what I mean. You have metrics, but it's not just money on the board metrics. This is, hey, when we hit this metric, it means that people are better, happier, faster, stronger, right? Us and the next generation. My goodness. See why? That's how I picked the guest, right? So thank you, Dr. Jeffrey Berger. Dadgummit, calendarly.com/Jeffrey E. Berger, Berger. Go, and you can just go Jeffrey E. Berger, Dr. Jeffrey Berger, LinkedIn. He's everywhere, folks. But definitely go to LinkedIn. You can hit me up at Mike Asherbrenner on LinkedIn, Redneck One, and plug into these folks. Like, and what's the worst case? This winning and this heartfelt attitude starts rubbing off. Like, oh wow, that's what I love about it, right? So thank you so much, folks in the comments, new folks out there. Don't be a stranger. Connect with me, subscribe, reach out. I will put the link in here soon so you guys can learn more. Birds of a feather should flock together. You agree with that? That's what I think. So, yeah, and you are. So, folks, this is the team bringing this to the U.S. Conditions have never been better to learn more, figure it all out, and just educate yourself. That's what we're about. We're not saying do or don't do. I'm saying learn, right? And what questions asked. So, thank you for bringing yourself up. You busy man. You are killing it right now. So thank you so much for bringing the time and attention, education, and the heart to the platform, Dr. Tahir. You're an absolute great man. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Mike. And I just really want to say something real quick. Thank you for providing the platform that I've been generously invited by you, because I think you're doing one absolutely phenomenal job by getting the masses on board, saying, look, if he can do it, we'll provide you the platform, just come. And we are available over here. So thank you for providing this particular platform. I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, my pleasure. All right, folks. Well, hey, tune in next week. It just stays awesome every week. So thank you, Mike King. Thank you, audience, hounds, friends of the hounds. Man, you guys make this the best hour of the week. So we'll see you later. I like to do the Princess Wave. You don't have to do that, but we're signing off. We'll see you same time, same channel, folks. Have a great, great week. Go get it.
Bye-bye.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.